and welcome to Brian's Got Game. I'm Brian, this is my dad, and today we're going to go over our top 10 games from 2017.
Yeah, this year was really tough. We started with 45 games, and the one stipulation that we had was that we had to have played this game.
Yes, so that is still a lot of games.
It is. Well, we went to a lot of conventions this year, so that helped, so that we didn't have to buy every game. But I believe we own every game on here except for one that we did play at a convention. So,
yes.
Who's going to start?
I guess I'll start. So you can do number 1.
Okay.
All right. So number 10, Arena for the Gods by Yellow. I don't think it's up. So it made this list because it has the variable player powers that you bid for with your life, which was really unique, bidding with your life to get your weapon, your mount, and your armor.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool because there might be an item that you really like, but you're going to have to give up eventually, how you're going to win the game to get that item. So is it really that valuable? So I thought that was really cool. The other thing was, like you said, the variable player power. So, I had different items, you had different items, and then those even change game upon game. And so, no single game is like any other.
Yeah, really replayable.
So who is this game? Who would like this game?
Well, I think that people who would like this game would be the people who played King of Tokyo also by Yellow, because it kind of has the same thing. You've got your guys and they're fighting each other, but it is very different with the way you use the dice. So in King of Tokyo, it's more Yahtzee style, trying to get sets or attack and get some energy. In this one, you're rolling the dice and assigning them to your weapon mount.
You get one reroll.
Yeah, so you roll them and you put them in and you roll it again, and then you get to use your dice.
Yep.
So it's very different in that sense.
And then also, I think people who like mythology would really get into this game. They don't only stick with Greek mythology. There's also Roman mythology. There's Hindu mythology.
I think each guy is from a different mythology.
Right. There's Aztecs, and so that's really cool too. Okay, so number 9. Number 9 was Cat Lady by AEG. And it made this list because it is a light set collection game with a fun theme. So I really like set collection. I do like cats, so that was a plus for us. But what I really liked about this was the unique way in which you get your cards.
Yeah, the 3x3 grid, and you pick one row, and then you put out 3 new cards. Now the thing is, you put the cat on that row, so you can't pick from that
the next person.
Row. The next person can't pick from that exact row, but they could take that column. So it's really unique in that way.
Yep. So who would like this type of a game?
Well, lots of people compare this to set collection games like specifically Sushi Go, say that this replaced Sushi Go for them, but we don't own, and I think we've only played Sushi Go once or twice.
Yeah, I like Sushi Go. I don't like sushi, and so that's really the one reason why I don't play that game. So I do enjoy card drafting, which Cat Lady does in a little different way. And so you're right. So, and I think also what this really hits on is, people who like cats or cat-themed things. So if you're into cats...
Or you collect cat toys for some reason.
Or you are a cat lady, this one is definitely for you.
All right, so number 8. Paramedics Clear by Smirk and Dagger.
Yep.
So, why this game made the list is, I'm just gonna hit on this at first because it's one of the things I really liked about it is the accident cards. They're hilarious. Each card has workshop accident or something. The guy drill press. So
drill press through hand. Fell off cliff. Just
elevator.
Accident,
something like
volcano eruption, I think was one of them. So they did a really good job with those. But the tricky thing with that is if you spend too much time reading those, then that's hard for you to finish your turn.
Yeah.
But that was really cool that they added those.
And then something even better about that was with the accident cards, they even made it correspond to the treatment they need. Like the guy who fell off the ladder needs a bunch of casts, and the guy who was involved in the volcano eruption needs some oxygen. and lots and lots of band-aids.
So yeah, and this one I thought was really cool because it has a companion app that is really just a fancy timer, but it's really hard to challenge. It's challenging to plan what you're going to do, right? So you have some
Yeah,
cards.
you have to have your time management. You got to play it down,
Right.
move the things over, and a lot of it is in the rules. It has a bunch of things you like have to pick up the card, move it over. And you have to move one thing at a time. It's to help take up time in your turn.
And you have to say certain things too. Yep. So who would like this game?
Well, obviously people who like real-time games for this, because you have to move fast and be able to think, kind of plan your turn before it's your turn, but there's a lot of things that come up that could change your planning.
Yeah, and I think real-time games is one of those categories that people either love it or they hate it. And I think
Yes.
there's more people that hate them than anything. But this one I thought was really cool. They did a good job with the real-time aspect, and there is some downtime while the other players
Yeah.
are playing.
So, like, while the next player is going, you have to reset it, make it nice for them and the other players. So it's just works well.
Yeah, and also recently there's been a lot of medical-themed games out there. Different ER hospital type themes, and so this one is definitely, if people like that, if you're into those types of things and paramedics, then this one is definitely a good one, and you'll enjoy that one too.
Definitely.
So number seven is Problem Picnic: Attack of the Ants by Kids Table. So why this one made the list was this one is a good one to play with all ages. It plays, really good from age 4 up to 99. Not 100.
Not
But it's a wide range. And so we really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yes. Something that I liked was the round cards. So the player who's in last place, either they got really unlucky, or they're littler and they missed, or they got knocked off and people were cruel to them.
People ganged up on them.
Like, usually, like, sometimes the person who's in first place quickly becomes last place because of this, which helps balance it. But the round cards balance it even more and mix up the game, helping the person in last place.
Yeah,
so,
there's
like,
the
they get
big
the big
shoe. You
which
can
takes out all the ants in
Stomp
that
on
area.
Yeah. There's the honey.
Honey, draw them away, and there's just a bunch of cool round cards.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and that what I also liked is there's kind of a more strategic version of this where you're taking your picnic and you're building your colony, and so your end game scoring conditions are based on
How your hill is.
how you manage your colony, which the little kids obviously they don't get that, but this is for the older ones can do that, and also every game is different because you pick what scores that round, and then also you pick how many points valued are to each one. So
Well, I
literally,
think it's random, but
well, yeah, you flip over the things, but every game is different.
it's
A lot of replayability.
definitely.
So, who would this game be for?
Well, people who like dexterity games, because you're throwing the dice, knocking other dice off. So it's dexterity game. So people who like dexterity.
Yeah, and I heard when people say dexterity games, I think of balancing.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. This one is like you're throwing dice, you're chucking the dice, and trying to hit stuff. So I mean, if sometimes dexterity might make people shy away, this one isn't so much balancing, but it's more of a flicking or a rolling and trying to aim to get stuff. So this one also is for people who play a lot of family games. If you enjoy family games and you have little gamers, this one is definitely for you.
Yes. And then people who like to have fun will enjoy this.
Right,
Because
if you
it's
like
just fun. You-
Go check this one out. If you don't like fun, I don't know why you're watching this.
All right, so number 6 is Queen Domino. So we played this at a convention, and I think this is the one we don't own.
Yep.
We played King Domino also, and we kind of messed that up, but we played it again better. But we're talking about Queen Domino. So it made this list because it's a more gamery version of King Domino.
Yeah, I thought King Domino was real light. It's one that you could probably take to a gathering with your grandma, and it's not, she could play it, right? There's not a lot of rules, and it doesn't take forever to teach it. You just pick your dominoes and place them.
Yeah.
But Queen Domino, like you said, it adds in another tile color.
The red ones.
It's got the guards, it's got the towers, it's got the market. So there's a lot more going on. And that's really why it made this list, because I really enjoyed this one more so than King Domino, just because of all the extra choices that you have to make.
So people who would like it is obviously the people who liked King Domino but wanted more.
Right.
Like, it's just the bigger better version of King Domino.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still worth to play King Domino if you're at a family gathering with your grandma or something.
Yep. What I was thinking about this, why did they make Queen Domino and why did it come after the King? Usually you think the King is the big in the mess, but in chess, Queen is the most powerful piece. So I don't know if they did that on purpose, but that was kind of cool, I thought. Also, if people who would like this game are people who like tile placement games and
Like Carcassonne.
puzzle games. So you're laying your dominoes down and you're kind of creating your own little thing. I guess that's another thing we could add on here is people who like to create their own space.
Yeah.
So win or lose, it's still kind of cool. You get to look at your kingdom or your queendom. And you can feel good that you made something cool or not so cool if you lost.
Cool. All right.
So number 5. Number 5 is King's Life
What's up there?
by Pandasaurus Games. Oh, we didn't say Queen Dominoes by Blue Orange Games.
Yes.
So King's Life, why it made the list. This one plays well at high player count. So there's not a lot of games that are awesome with 8 players. And so that's why this one made the list.
It's a great game with lots of players. Also, it has, it's up there and you can just kind of see. It's got hilarious artwork. You've got, your pinata and then in the game, all the different characters.
The king is so sad because he has all of his kingly duties to attend to on the weekend, and then now he's got...
No, it's on Monday.
Oh, on Monday? Just the one day?
Just Monday.
And so you're planning Tuesday through Saturday. And so he's... In some of them, it's funny. He's so sad, and you're trying to cheer him up, and then other times he's so happy. Like there's one where he's riding a tiger with 2 crossbows. And so I thought that the artwork and just played well with the theme, and it just fits right into the game. And so it all just makes a complete game.
So something that I don't agree with in this game is that it says it's a trick-taking game, but I think it's more of I don't want to say set collection, but it kind of is, because you're setting down all your cards of the types, and you're trying to make yours biggest, so you plan what the king does.
Yeah, you're laying down a card, and then the next time around you can add to that card, or you can play another suit. And so, it's not like your traditional trick-taking, but there is one winner at the end. So, I don't know. I guess it depends on how broad the definition of trick-taking is. But it does fall in that genre. And it is, in its core, its essence, is it's a card game. So, who would like that?
Well, people who like card games and hand management, because afterward, if you're going to lose, you can just throw all your bad cards out and then draw new ones.
Yeah, and save the ones for to the next one, right? And slowly, I think this is kind of a nuance to it. Is it starts out with less points, and then as the week goes on, the points get bigger.
So you really do want to making your hand better.
Yeah, you do want to hold back and keep the cards that really are going to help you win later on and get the most points. And then there's the whole thing about giving your support, and you can kind of get some points that way too. Also, people who like games that play up to 8 players.
Like you said, it's a great game that plays
minimum 4.
Yeah, so it's
really
yeah.
plays good 6, 7, 8. That way it's just more chaos and there's more stuff going on. So it makes it for more fun.
All right, number 4, Fox in the Forest. So
By Renegade.
By Renegade Games. So this one, I don't think it got quite as much buzz as some of their other newer games, but we really liked this one. Something that we kind of liked about it was cool twist on trick taking, and then to make it 2 players. So that's kind of big for us because we play a lot of 2-player games. So it was really helpful, really good to have a 2-player trick taking game.
Yeah, generally in that type of a game, you don't want to have perfect knowledge, right? If I'm looking at my cards and you're looking at your cards, then I know that if I don't have it, you have it, right? But they made a little part where you leave some out. And you kind of have a draw deck, and there's a mechanism where you can shed cards and draw new ones. So you don't always know what the other guy has in a 2-player game. So yeah, Renegade had a lot of great games that came out this year. This one immediately sold out, and then I don't know if they made another print run, but it sold out. I could not get it at Christmas time. And then late in December, it became available again. So this one's been sold out everywhere I've seen. But it made the list because we love trick-taking games. We play 2-player games. And this one really went, and knocked it out of the park for this one.
So people who would like this game is, like we said, trick-taking and then quick card game. So not only is it a 2-player trick-taking game, but it's also relatively quick.
Yeah, and if you play a lot of 2-player games, Generally, those types of games are card games, so if you play those, you'll definitely gonna want to check this one out. Fox in the Forest. Number 3 is Santorini.
So this one also is a two-player game, but like you just said, most of them are card games. If you want to stray from that, Santorini.
So Santorini can be played with more because you have your 2 guys, so you could play as a team. But yeah, it's essentially 2, and I think there's a third color for a 3-player game. But we generally like playing it as a 2-player. But this one, why it made our list was it has amazing artwork. That's why I backed this one on Kickstarter. Technically, we got it December last year, but its release date was 2017. So I think there's been a lot of games, and a lot of times if it's not in the forefront of our memories, then we forget about it, but not Santorini. This one is awesome.
And like not just amazing artwork, but amazing components. You've got the really cool little 3D minis, little guys, and then you've got the towers. You've got the 3 different levels that are amazing, and they look great. And then you've got the dome on top.
Yeah, production quality, Santorini is awesome. And then you have variable player powers. So, just you would think a 2-player, it's kind of chess-like, back and forth, could get boring. But you add in your different gods and goddesses and your powers, and that completely changes it. Everything about this game is awesome.
So people who would like this game, so abstract strategy, and then like you kind of said, it's kind of like chess, but very different.
Yeah, and if you're into Greek mythology, I think this one also would be good. There were some gods in there that I never heard of because they just kept unlocking stretch goals. And so they kept adding new gods and new goddesses and giving them special powers. So if those are interesting to you, go check out Santorini by Roxley Game Laboratory.
All right, so number 2. So this is Capades by its Tranhis Games. So this one made the list, kind of seeing a theme. It's a 2-player game. So it's a very strategic 2-player card game with medieval theme and art. And it's just really fun. So you've got your cards and you're trying to best the other player. But there's a couple cards that beat the other ones, and you're just trying to get the most.
Yeah, it's very, push-pull, tug-of-war style, like many 2-player games are. But one person's the prince and one person is the princess, and they're fighting over who's the heir, right? But both of them are cowards, or cobardes, and they don't really fight. And so they're using the courtiers around them to try to fight. So it's this one had a small print release. It's made in Spain, and so it's probably not readily available everywhere. But we did snag a copy. And it is excellent. So who would like Cobardes?
So quick card games and then 2-player. So
yeah, right. This one, I mean, it's the same size as like a Colorado box, maybe a little bit taller.
Yeah.
But you could pack it in your bag, take it anywhere. Quick 2-player game. It is only in Spanish right now, so you kind of got to know Spanish to do that. But go check this one out if you're into 2-player games.
all right.
And finally, our number 1 game of 2017 is Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time by Funforge and Passport Games.
So this one made the list. It's just amazing. You've got the variable player powers, and then you have sentient dice. Like they're alive, and they know the worst thing that can happen.
It is amazing how...
Like in the how-to video,
Yeah,
I took this awesome turn. Go watch it right now. I took the awesome turn, and then it completely undid everything I did.
Yeah, this one's really tough. It's challenging. It has awesome artwork.
I think we beat it like 2 out of every 10 times.
We had a 3-win game streak going, and then Professor Evil got us again. So it has awesome artwork. It has kind of a steampunk feel to it.
And then you've got the clue board.
Oh yeah, the board, it looks amazing. There's different rooms. I think there's 5 players that you can choose from. You only play 4.
But it's only 2 to 4.
And so every time you play, one of them manipulates the switches. One of them's good at movement. One of them's good at turning the clock back. So you can get a good mix and match of their powers, which is really cool.
So people who would like this game, people who like co-op games, and then people who like really, really hard challenge games.
Yeah, it's almost akin to Ghost Stories. You remember playing Ghost
Oh,
Stories and
yeah.
how that was one of the like impossible games.
Impossible co-op games.
Yeah. So this one's very similar to that, although it's a little bit lighter.
A lot lighter.
And I think I like the theme better on this one. But yeah, this one's great. It's co-op, so you can play with younger kids and help them along. All the information is open, and then of course you have your evil dice that undo everything you're planning. So maybe you could whisper or type or text your plans so the dice don't hear what you're gonna do. So that's our number one, and that's our top 10 games of 2017.
Thank you for watching Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page, send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game, visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian, this is my dad. See you next time.